Yeah, but you know, this is what she said. She just was confused. Now this is at my trial. You know what I mean? She said she had a partner, and he backed the car up and all that. You know, and that's how they seen the guy, whatever. Now, this is at my co-defendant's trial. This is what's going. This, I guess, this is his lawyer, or this is the, I don't know. Good afternoon, Officer Spicer. That was the arresting officer. She says, "Good afternoon. Where were you when you set up your surveillance?" Answer: I was in an unmarked police vehicle. Question: and where did you park the vehicle? Answer: I was parked on the corner of Ruby and Warrington Streets. Were you facing, would that be Ruby, or were you on Warrington? I was on Warrington, facing, I believe, that would be, this is south and that's north. I was facing eastbound. Now in my transcript, remember, she said eastbound is facing Peach Street. So she was across the street facing Peach Street on the corner of Ruby and Warrington, which is the 1200 block. We got locked up on the 1100 block. So that supports my claim that she couldn't see and that she wasn't parked on the block. She was parked across the street. Then also in my co-defendant's transcript, his lawyer asked, "Did you have a partner in the car with you?" She answers, "At the time, no, I don't believe I did." "And did you take contemporaneous notes?" She answers, "In my head, you begin your surveillance at 8:35. Yes, approximately. And you weren't acting on any specific information. I had conducted surveillance prior on that block." But notice, she said she didn't have a partner. You see what I'm saying? But in my transcript, she says she wasn't in the car by herself. You understand what I'm saying? She said she had a partner. How can you, and this happened when it matter like 2 months after we was arrested, that she made this statement. The statement she made at my trial happened 2 years after the situation. So, you know, the law is the testimony closest in the time is more than likely the correct testimony, which was one of my defenses. You see what I'm saying? And I just wanted to show, you know, that she nowhere here nowhere in his transcript does she say she was parked on Ruby Street. Nowhere. You see what I'm saying? So how all of a sudden at my trial you was parked on Ruby Street, 3 houses away from where we was hustling? You don't even mention that you was parked across the street at my trial. You see what I'm saying? But I presented this to the federal court. Like, you know, here's 2 different versions from the same officer for the same matter. You understand what I'm saying? And how can you allow 2 different versions to stand on a conviction? Unheard of. Unheard of. But because I'm a pro se litigant, they allowed that to happen. You see what I'm saying? So I just want you to know, and this is the law right here. The concept of the law asserts details and facts which should have been naturally included but weren't, establishes an inconsistency. Prior statement that omits details included in trial testimony is inconsistent if it would have been natural for the witness to include the details in the earlier statement. You know, and I say petitioner alleges that the added details didn't flow from a natural recollection of an oversight of events forgotten in the account. It was made known beforehand. Petitioner was seeking to show something impaired police officer Spicer's visual. In a pre-trial evidentiary motion, petitioner addressed this. Still, police officer Spicer omitted these details. How, even when given the opportunity to recall the obstruction involved in this observation, did she fail to do so? You know what I mean? How? How did you fail to say at my trial that, oh wait, I was parked across the street, my bad, I'm lying? You see what I'm saying? No, that she know that case would have been tossed out on his head. You see what I'm saying? Here go another law saying the same thing. Such conduct mirrors the 11th hour defense outlawed by the United States Supreme Court in Teller versus Illinois. In Teller, the court stated the adversary process could not function effectively without adherence to the rules of procedure that govern the orderly presentation of facts to provide each party with a fair opportunity to assemble and submit evidence to contradict or explain the opponent's case. It was further held, early detection is merely one component of the broader public interest in a full and truthful disclosure of critical facts. This is what I'm saying. Like, the judge clearly ignored all of the facts. He did in the state court and in the federal court. You see what I'm saying? Like, again, you know, I should be sitting back counting my money. You see what I'm saying? But instead, I'm you know, I had to deal with a bunch of injustice. You see what I'm saying? But you know, that's just how it goes. You know what I mean? Especially for black pro se litigants, that's just how it goes. You know what I mean? They refuse to see me up. You know what I mean? That's not saying that I'm gonna stay down. It's just that they refuse to see me up. You know what I mean? They refuse to acknowledge, you know, my brilliance and putting together a legal defense. They refuse to acknowledge any of that stuff. You know what I mean? They thing is, this guy didn't go to school. Like, come on. But it's crazy because the state has all of this ammunition. They have access to so much. You know, you wouldn't think they would have to cheat somebody like me, a pro se litigant with scarce resources. They have vast resources, you know what I mean? But again, it is what it is, man, you know. And I'm gonna just say this before I tune out, man. You know, if we stuck together more, and if we would support, you know, our pro se litigants such as myself, who know what they talking about, who know what they doing, man, we'd be in a much better position, man. You know what I mean? But y'all don't, so this is what we stuck with, man. But it's all right, you know. Peace and blessings to all the active people out there in the struggle, man. One love to my comrades, man. You know what I mean? You know, all my woke brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? Men, women. I salute y'all, man. You know what I mean? Peace and blessings. Let it be what it is. Peace.